Hello everyone, welcome back to Paperwork Intel, where we make filling out forms and applications easy for everyone. Once again, it's Raheem on the mic. Today, we're talking about reducing the amount of tax your employer takes from every paycheck. In part 1 of this video, I give you the scoop on how going through this process can increase your take-home pay every payday. If you haven't seen that video, the link should be on the screen, so make sure you check that out first. In this video, we'll go online, download the forms, and fill them out together. So let's get to it. Open up your internet browser and do a search for T1213, so T1213. T1213. And that's the form we need right here. And that takes us directly to the Canada Revenue Agency's website. Once we get here, we have two options. We have a fillable PDF and a regular PDF. So let's click on the fillable PDF. Bingo. So that's the form we need. And being a fillable PDF, you can choose to start putting in your information right within your internet browser. So as you can see, I can type into this form. But as you guys already know, what I prefer to do is download and save the form to my hard drive. That way, if I begin filling out the form and I need to go do something else, I could just save it and come back to it at a later time. So to download this to your hard drive, just mouse over to the very top. And there's a down facing arrow here, so just click on that and save. After you download the form, navigate to wherever you saved it on your hard drive and open it up, and this is what you should be looking at. To interact with a fillable PDF, you will need software that allows you to do that. So here I'm using Adobe Reader, which you can download from Adobe's website for free. So let's assume we're doing this for the year 2020. To save time, I already filled out the form and I'm just going to walk you guys through it. Even though I'm showing you guys how to fill out the form, I encourage you to read all the information on the top, just so you have a full understanding of what's going on. But let's get right into it. So put in your first name here, your last name, social insurance number, your address, and telephone number. And in this box here, you put in your employer's information. So the name of the company you work for, the contact person over there, most likely in your payroll department, and their telephone number. Now down here, so they're asking, what are we requesting them to reduce taxes on? And in our case, it's our salary. So I've checked salary. And for the sake of simplicity, we're just going with a straightforward scenario, something that applies to most people. Let's come down here. Now the next section is where we put in all the information regarding our deductions. The first one is your registered retirement savings plan. So let's say you give $100 from every paycheck to your registered retirement savings plan. By the end of the year, that's going to be $2,600 because you get 26 paychecks in 1 year. So just write that amount in here. Now, some companies match the money you put into your retirement savings plan. So for example, if you put in $100, they'll put in $100 as well. Make sure you put in only the money taken from your paycheck, the contributions you made. Next, we have childcare expenses. So for example, daycare, or whatever childcare expenses you have, you can put that information on a separate sheet of paper and send that in with your application. Or you can use this form right here to calculate exactly what your child expenses should be. So for example, if we go back online and let's go back to the CRA's website and just do a search for T778 As you can see, that form comes up right there, and if you click on that, you can download the form. Let's go back to our application. After filling out the T778, let's say my allowed deduction comes to 4,000. So I put that information in here. Next, we have support payments. If you pay child support or any other support payment ordered by the court, you put that information in here. You should fill out this form T1158 to get the right amount to put in here. In our case, we don't have any support payments, so we'll skip that. Next, we have employment expenses. Here they're talking about any work-related expenses that you can deduct from your income. So like your travel expenses, your car, your office supplies, stuff like that. Now, to arrive at the right number to put in here, you should fill out these two forms, T2200 and T777. Next, we have carrying charges and interest expenses on investment loans. This refers to fees and interest you paid on certain investment income. For example, you may have paid a company for investment advice or a monthly fee to monitor your investments. For a full list of carrying charges and interest expenses you can claim, go back onto the CRA's website and let's see, let's just do a search for carrying charges. And bingo, it's on line 221 of your income tax. And if you click on that, you have all the information right here, everything you're allowed to claim. Now let's go back to our form. Next, we have medical expenses. Here you enter all the medical expenses you're allowed to claim. If you're not sure what you're allowed, just go on the CRA's website and do a search for medical expenses. All the information you need should come up. Next, we have donations. This one's pretty straightforward. If you or your spouse gave money to any registered charities or organizations, you put in that amount in here. Alright, so let's keep it moving. Now, we're on to the next page. If this applies to you, then you can use this form right here, T1223, to claim up to $10,000 for your utilities and rent. So next we have a registered pension plan buying back contributions for past service. A lot of you guys can probably skip this one. As we all know, you are allowed to contribute a certain amount to a pension plan every year. If you don't use or max out your contribution, you can carry it forward. This part is for someone working before 1989 and did not contribute to a registered pension plan, and now they wish to buy back those years of service. So in other words, they want to be able to make those contributions for the years that they missed. To get all the information you need to be able to get the right amount to put in this box, my advice is to hop onto the CRA's website, do a search for LPP buyback, say buyback. Alright, there you go. So you have the information right there. So let's click on that. So guys, you have all the information you need right here, as you can see. And I believe the form you need to fill out to actually get to the right amount is this form right here. So if we do a search for T4040, let's do T4040. There we go. So that's the form you need right here. And let's see what it looks like. So as you can see, it's a very detailed guide. You have all the instructions and pretty much all the information you need here. Using the guide I just showed you, you should come up with the right amounts to put into this box. Next we have foreign tax credit. If you paid tax to another country on income you made over there, you're allowed some deductions. To calculate what those deductions will be, use this form T2209, which you can find on the CRS website. This doesn't apply to us, so we'll keep it moving. Next we have Other. If you have any of these, then put in the right amount you're allowed to deduct in here, and make sure you attach all supporting documents. Next we have total amounts to be deducted from income. So we add up everything we have in these boxes. We have $10,150. Subtract income not under tax deductions at source. We don't have any other income, so that's zero. This is the net amount we're requesting tax to be waived on. So in other words, if you make $50,000 a year, for example, you're saying to your employer, don't tax me on $50,000, tax me on $39,850 instead. We've come to the end of the form. Here's where you certify that the information you've provided is complete and all correct, and you're requesting authorization for your employer to reduce your tax deductions at source based on this information. The next step is to print out the form, and you'll sign here and date here. So that's it for filling out the form. We'll talk about this in the next video. I know, it does seem like a lot of forms to fill to get to the amounts that go into those boxes. But let me remind you, not all those deductions will apply to everyone. So for example, if you're not a religious minister, or you don't pay any child support, or have any foreign investments, then you get to skip those lines right away. So I would like to encourage you not to be intimidated by the forms. Just download them, fill them out. You only have to do it once, and by the time next year comes around, when you have to submit a new application, then you'll know what you're doing. Worst case scenario, if you hit a roadblock, go online, do some research. If you still don't find the answers to your questions, pick up the phone and call Canada Revenue. That's what they're there for. So we're done filling out the application. Please join me in the final part of this video, where we'll be talking about submitting your application and what happens next.